I'm going to say Missing Link.
Perfect.
I am allowed to say my own movie, right?
Of course,
Okay.
that's the whole point.
Excuse me. I think I've got a little something stuck in my... There it is. In my throat. Like a nut or a field mouse or something like that. I don't know. Am I rambling? I'm a little nervous.
I'm Chris Butler. I am the writer and director of Missing Link, which is the latest stop-motion animated movie from Laika. So, it is a long time ago, but the university that I went to, at the time it was called the West Surrey College of Art and Design, but I knew from an early age that I wanted to go into animation. I think I was like 3 or something when I first told my mom that I wanted to make animated movies, so I always pursued that. I looked for courses that were animation based. I built up my portfolio geared towards that, and so I did a BA Honours in animation. But what I did manage to do was create a body of work that I could take out into the industry and get my first job. I was working in a small studio. I was pulling reference for a group of graphic artists who were doing storyboards and shooting boards for live action commercials. But I only did that for a very limited time before they started asking me to do my own storyboards. Well, the first one that meant something to me was Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. It seemed like such a great opportunity to work with someone. The movie that he'd done before that in this medium was, of course, Nightmare Before Christmas, so I wanted to get on board it. When I got into the industry, it wasn't the best time for animated movies. There wasn't a lot happening, so I started out working on a lot of commercials, TV, a lot of straight-to-video stuff, and then this Corpse Bride movie came along, and I think that absolutely 100% changed the course of my career. My favorite project, I just finished making Missing Link, so the wounds are still healing. These things are really, really difficult to do, and my head's still in it. There's so much about this movie that I love. But I enjoyed Paranorman as well, just because it was the first time I directed. Yeah, I'm torn between the two. When you first start one of these movies and you draw up a potential cast list, you write down people that you would wish to work with. And I was lucky enough on this one that I actually got that opportunity and they said yes. And at first it's a little intimidating because you know, I wrote the script and then suddenly I'm in a recording booth with Hugh Jackman or Zoe Saldana and they're reading my lines. The really special part about the process is the character that's been up here for so long starts to evolve into something else and they bring their own ideas to it and they start to create a living, breathing character that exists outside of my head. And that's when the character starts to change and become its own thing. And I love that process because it can be really surprising and it's very rewarding. I guess my priority is always going to be that I'm the director, and so I'm ultimately responsible for the whole thing. And so I often have to look at my own work and critique it as if I'm someone else. You have to be able to step back and look at the whole thing and ask yourself, this character that I drew here, is that working with this here? That line of dialogue that I wrote, is it working in the context of the movie? So I think, in a way, being a director makes all those other roles kind of slot into place. Animation is very competitive, but there are lots of opportunities out there. Certainly, everyone I think now has the ability to make their own content. We all have access to computers and phones, and so we have the ability to make our own short films. So I think if you are interested in animation, just start doing stuff. I think there'll be a point where you have to be able to take a critique. You have to be able to have someone else look at your work and say, this is good and this is bad, and you have to listen to that and you have to try and improve yourself. But the most important thing to do is just pursue it.